We're here at North Ferriby United. The last train's gone past, so hopefully we've got a couple of minutes to have a bit of a chat. It's been quite a good day today, Dale.
It's been a great day, hasn't it? It's been a professional performance, I think, as Liam King said in his interview. That's what the team needed to do, and they did. And it's very easy to turn up at places like this and just think you're going to win easily. And the first 15-20 minutes, I thought Ferriby were well in the game. But once Ash puts that ball in for the first goal, I thought it was an easy afternoon for Gainsborough. But professional all the way, they kept trying to add more goals. They could have done with being a bit more clinical maybe at times, which I can't believe I'm saying after winning 4-0. And the big plus of the day is back in the playoffs.
Exactly. We've said before, results elsewhere are not important unless we do our job. If we get points on the board, if we win games, then we can look at other results. If we don't pick up the points, we can't look at other people and say, well, Scarborough have slipped up. Oh, there's been a draw between Nantwich and Warrington. Results that have gone our way, but we did our job first. That's the important thing. If we win our games, I've got every faith that we'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's been frustrating this season because there's been so many chances to go into the playoffs, hasn't there, the last 2 or 3 months. And like you say, and then you look at the result, although, you're right, you end up looking at them and you think, oh, that's a missed opportunity. And no, today they've taken that opportunity, and Mikolova winning at Scarborough has certainly done us a big favour.
Yeah. Thank you. Jarmo's Mikolova wasn't playing today. Lad on loan from Chesterfield with both the goals for Mikolova today. But Jarmo's Mikolova did us a favour.
Well done, Jarmo. So yeah. But it's nice to be back in them playoffs because that's where they should be. They're a big team in this league, Gainsborough, big team. And
there's no real right though for anybody.
No, but another train.
Yeah, you've missed so many today.
I know, I'm devastated. We've been sat. You've been the opposite. You've seen them all, and I've been sat this side, and I can't see any. And anyway, what were we saying? Yeah, no, Gainsborough. Yeah, you're right. No one's got a divine right, but Gainsborough, big team. They should be a team of that stature. They should be in this league. They should be getting out. And
puts you up there a little bit to be sure.
I know they've played more games than everybody else, but the other teams have still got to go out and pick up the points. So
yeah, well, at one point this season we had 3 or 4 games in hand, and that's touching on what you've said about the opportunities missed or not taking those chances to get in the playoffs. We had 4 games in hand. We didn't win those games in hand.
The first half of the season, that's all we were talking about, wasn't it? And every time we had one of these, it was, there's games in hands. But I think we were very sceptical. Is that the right word? Yeah. Sceptical. Yeah. And saying, well, you've got to win those games in hand, and obviously they didn't. I mean, we all know Farsley Celtic at home was one of the games in hand, for example, and I think everybody knows what happened there. So it's better to have the points, and now the pressure goes back onto your Scarboroughs and Nantwich, who again are not far behind, and it also, as I was saying earlier, it continues to keep that gap between them and the chasing pack. Forget Scarborough, you've got Basford, Buxton, all them who could catch Gainsborough on points.
Buxton didn't look like they were having a good result. They were 2-0 down at Hensford the last time I saw.
I think Basford won today. But anyway, because Trinity won, it still keeps that gap there.
Yeah, and it's take care of your own results and don't worry about anybody else.
Exactly.
Yes, they've got games in hand on us, but if we win our games, they can't catch us.
Exactly, you're spot on. How many games are left?
11, I think that is.
If Trinity win all 11, they'll be top 3. That's how unpredictable
which is where you want to be aiming now. You want to be aiming second or third.
I don't think
to have home advantage.
I think they're too far off the top. I really do, but I think they could still get well into those playoffs. But I think also we've got to be careful not to get too carried away because it's a convincing win against the North Ferriby side, who I hate to say were terrible. You can see why they're having all the problems they're having. They've played with good spirit, and I really like coming here because it's just a really nice place to come. Next week will be a bigger test. Bamber Bridge will, they'll come to frustrate Gainsborough, and hopefully Gainsborough can break them down.
They've had a tough game today against South Shields, so it just shows the sort of teams that work against in this league. South Shields were 2-1 up, I think.
2-1.
So we've just got to concentrate on doing our thing. There seems to be a really nice buzz about the club again at the moment.
Yeah.
It seemed to have got lost a little bit in recent weeks. But Liam King, since he's been in, he's only taken care of the team, as he said himself a number of times today. I'm only taking care of the teams. That's fair enough. But what he's done since he's been in, he's brought professionalism, structure. Yeah.
Well, I've just compared it on Radio Lincolnshire to what Hurricane Solskjaer's done at Man United, not to the same scale, but in terms of players playing with smiles on their faces, certain players looking different to what they were a month ago. I'm not going to name names, but we know who we're talking about. It's just great, and and for example, we spoke to Ash Worsfold, and you can just see the enthusiasm
and
in again.
To the sort of smile being back on his face
Exactly.
across the white line.
Exactly. And he was excellent today. Those front two going on to that, they were brilliant today. Yeah. And I think all season, any Trinity fan will tell you, I've been saying, I'm sure you have, that they needed somebody like Wilson to come in.
With big lummox up front.
He was brilliant. To me, he was the best player on the pitch, Wilson. I thought he was outstanding. Yeah. And it made Ash play better, because even Ash said himself, he's not the one going up for flick-ons. He's running off them, and the more they work together, the more that it'll be successful.
Exactly. Look, it's early signs, but the relationship, the partnership between the two of them, very good early signs. As they play more together, as they train together, a couple of good training sessions in the week, and that partnership will just hot up.
Well, definitely. I mean, you look at the first goal for Ash today, and that was all about Wilson and his...
Wilson terrorising the centre-backs, wasn't it?
Exactly, and then Ash finds himself in on goal. If you put Ash Worsfold through on goal, he scores. It's as simple as that. 19 goals this season. 19 goals at this level is fantastic. I still think it's amazing that Gainsborough have managed to keep him this season. I'm so pleased they have, because I think he's quality, Worsfold.
Yeah. And with him back with a smile on his face.
Confident.
Yeah.
Confident.
The penalty that he scored down at that end, a firmly hit penalty,
because the last one he took, he missed, didn't he? So that always...
he didn't really step up with the confidence and
conviction. He didn't really run up, did he, to that one, if I remember correctly? Wasn't it a 2-step job? 2 or 3-step?
Yeah, but never really with any...
I never thought he was going to miss that today. I know exactly what you mean, whereas that day, Nantwich, wasn't it? Yeah, no, I agree completely.
And it's almost like we get that first goal at the moment, and the shackles come off a little bit, and we've got that vibe and that determination to go out and get more.
And they should have got more.
Yeah. But before we start talking about missed chances, let's talk about the first minute of the second half.
What a goal. What a goal.
Alex Byrne picking the ball up inside the Trinity half and springing the Ferriby defence with a sublime crossfield ball to Ant Wilson. And Ant Wilson running the left-hand channel, he's only got one thing on his mind, and that's to come in on his right foot and curl him up. A fantastic sell.
It's such a good goal. It's such a good goal, and that's confidence. And to bring in a striker that's confident at this stage of the season, I think it's a real coup for Liam King. What a goal. I thought Alex Byrne played really well today. I know some of his crosses were overhit, but the amount of crosses he put in that box, not just corners, just in open play, they couldn't handle him or long bottom. I felt the width of Trinity was outstanding today.
Popping up both on the left and the
right
side.
Yeah, it was good. I'm glad they've still got long bottom, because I think he's been a real decent addition. And that goal was just no keeper saving that. It was so good, and he deserved that today. He deserved it.
And that also adds to competition for places. Reevesy came on for
I was going to mention Damien Reeves, because 2 or 3 times he's come on not even a chance, he's put it away, and he was confident.
He knows where the net is, doesn't he?
So 4 goals all by strikers. That's what you want as a manager.
Exactly. And then you look at the other end and keep the back door shut.
Yeah, I mean, we say about, obviously, I don't like the term only, but being Ferriby, but they still score goals. You've still got to work. I think John Stewart, he made, there was a couple of decent saves he had to make, but overall...
Yeah, especially early on, like you've alluded to earlier on.
He did, and then there was that free kick, I think, in the second half, which he did well to save.
He maybe set the wall up and gave him a little bit more to aim at than you would have liked. But he's got across his goal really well, got down low, made a good save. He
did, but overall defensively, I mean, I'm a big fan of Stainfield. I think him and Maguire over the season have picked up developed a decent partnership. Yeah. And Johan at right back.
I think he deserves a special mention.
He's
slotted in at right back.
He's not a right back.
No.
But it didn't show, I don't think.
Yeah, a few marauding runs down the right-hand side.
And he won the penalty.
Yep, and also putting a good ball in for Ant Wilson in the second half as well.
Yep.
The flag went up for an offside. But
interesting next week when Neil Austin's back available.
Yeah, it gives the manager a selection headache, doesn't it?
It does, and as a manager, I think all managers like that, don't they? So
yeah, exactly. That's something Liam's worked hard on with the 2 new signings, is to bring in a little bit more competition for places within the squad. And you've got to hope that it gives us that extra little boost and keeps us ticking along.
We've been saying all season the squad's not big enough. The depth isn't there. And I think it's fantastic of the chairman to back Kingy in terms of letting him bring in these players, because we don't know whether Kingy's going to be here all season or just for a couple of weeks. Yeah. But to allow him to bring in those 2 players, I mean, we didn't really see enough of George Hornshaw really to make an opinion. No, but exactly. Ant Wilson was, as I said earlier, for me, he was the best player on the pitch today. I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah. Regards Hornshaw, he'll have benefited from that sort of little 10-15 minute cameo at the end. Just gets him embedded with the team rather than throwing him on from the start when he's only had 1, maybe 2 training sessions. He's actually had a little bit of game time now as well as the training sessions. You can see what we're about.
and they've all had to adapt today to the pitch. I think everyone we speak to has mentioned the pitch, haven't they? Kingy mentioned it, Ash mentioned it. Others, it's a horrible pitch today.
But that's where we're lucky at home to have a great pitch.
Very lucky to have probably the best pitch in the league. It's really good. But no, I agree with you on Hornshaw, and also the competition for places in midfield now, because suddenly instead of just having Clarkey and Russell, you've got Hornshaw and Harry Middleton.
Middleton coming back from
injury. And I thought he was pretty consistent before he got injured personally. So that's good. I think competition for places is always healthy. That's really good. I like that. And when you get Alex Simmons back, you've suddenly got competition on the wing.
Yep, believe he was training on.
He was here today, wasn't he?
Tuesday and Thursday. Yeah, which is very good to see. Sunshine's out, Simo's out.
Yeah, and then the competition up front. So suddenly now the squad's looking a little bit stronger, which is it's still important for a run.
Numerically, it's still small, but now that little bit of extra competition with Neil Austin to come back into the squad, hopefully after his illness. But it does. It gives numbers on the ground and a little bit of confidence.
I mean, with Trinity's budget, they're never going to have the biggest squad in the world, but it's vital that the numbers you've got are all of a decent quality, and
available, which we have been missing 5.
Exactly.
Ross Hanna, who we haven't mentioned for a while.
Oh, he's going to have to come back, isn't he? And I mean, I know Kingy's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I think it's no coincidence that Trinity's, I wouldn't say downfall, because they're still 5th, but their turn in form in a negative way was after he got injured. I don't think that's any coincidence at all. I think he was fantastic first half of the season.
But now the turn in form again is happening with him.
With
in
him,
an influential role at the club.
Exactly.
And that's a really positive sign that we're starting to churn results out. We've started with 2 wins. Can we make it 3? Can we make it 4? 1 game at a time, though, and then see where we end up at the end of the season.
And I think it's really interesting that when you ask him about management, he doesn't know, does he? He really doesn't know.
He's really playing it down.
But he's still a player, isn't he? He can still, and I think that's great. I think it's nice to see, and it's going to be interesting times. We saw a couple of potential managers here today.
Yeah.
Chris Moyes was here, Dennis Green was here, Jamie Clapham was here. But when a team's doing well and you're looking for a manager, I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting times. It's when they're struggling, like Ferriby, and you're looking for a manager, it's a bit, but no, I think it's exciting at the moment, and
the longer we keep the run going, though, the longer the time the chairman has to make the right decision about the future, whether that is keeping Liam King and Ross Hanna as the management team, or is it going to be something different? Winning games buys that time.
Well, Mark Owen offered to join in team.
You did. Did you throw your CV in? Did you see the challenge
Me, they've said to me on Radio Lincolnshire today I should apply for the job. So
maybe Honey will take you on as goalkeeper coach. You never know.
Exactly. I'll show him where the snack bar is and stuff like that. But what was the question again? What did you ask me?
Fancy for position of goalkeeper.
Oh yeah, no, thank you.
No, okay, ruling yourself out.
For now.
Another one that prefers the BBC perks and privileges.
That's see.
Fair enough, but
we'll
see what happens next. In terms of the management, though, what do you think we should be aiming for a manager? What criteria?
It's a tough one, isn't it?
We spoke to the chairman previously, and he's indicated that he's gone down the former player route. Didn't quite work out with Dom. We've gone down the experienced manager route with Football League experience in terms of Sinnott. We've gone for the up-and-coming manager from below. Do you think it's a criteria? Do you think it's a certain person? Or do you think it's the key commodity of time? For whoever
question.
is...
I mean, looking at the last 3 or 4, like you say, Dom was already pretty much like a hero here, wasn't he? He was loved by the fans, and that buys you time as manager, doesn't it? Lee Sinnott for me was a completely random one. I never saw that coming. It was, and Dave Frecklington, he, like as you say, up and coming, and maybe that level was just that little bit too much. I don't know. I said at the time I think he'd have kept them up, but that's another story. But it was exciting in his time. So I don't know really. I mean, Kingy's made a really good start, hasn't he? There's not much more he could have done. In charge, he's saying the right things. He's
instilling that professionalism.
He certainly is. He interviews well when we talk to him, and you have to have a look what's out there. And I don't know what the answer is really. I mean, I always think experience is key, at the level that you're at, which Gainsborough have never really gone for in the last, Howsham's probably the last one, and he got that experience at Gainsborough. Yeah. So that's what I'd say. And is there anyone about, really, that's got experience at this level that will get you out of this division? You'd probably say already Liam King's got more than most, even though most of it's as a player.
At this level and the level above. Like he said a few times to me, he's got all the experience in non-league football. He's won everything there is to win in non-league football.
Exactly.
Except the National League title.
Exactly. So I think Kingy should be involved in some way, shape or form. But there's plenty out there. It's exciting times. But, like you say, if they beat Bamber Bridge next week, say they beat them 2-0, 3 wins, 3 clean sheets, and I keep comparing him to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Man United, but
I'm sure he's going to love you.
Solskjaer, he won't hear this. Kingy or Solskjaer?
Kingy, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, he plays like him as well, Kingy. There you go. Yeah. No, but Ollie, he's getting himself into a position where they've got to offer him the job, haven't they, sooner or later?
Exactly.
And maybe Kingy will do the same here, and, good luck with that.
So keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
We're behind you all the way. Exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely. You can feel. I mean, I've not been back to the North, Martin and Co. since it went, but today, just around the place, talking to people, seeing how the players are, you can already feel
the change that's happening.
And talking to you as well, Rob, you can feel the change in how mood. People are feeling. Mood. That's the word. Thank you. And that's great. And long may it continue.
Well, we'll wrap that one up now, as Sam's about to be bitten by a mosquito.
Oh, yeah, we've got Sam filming this. We wanted him on the podcast, but he bottled it, everybody.
Yeah, he got a little bit shy.
Yeah, he did. So we've just embarrassed him now. All right, don't cut this bit out. All right.
Right, okay. I won't do.
Good, right.
I'll just hope you press record at the start of this podcast. I remember times before, but he's forgotten to record things.
Yeah, I did
Alfreton away when we were losing 4-0. Somebody forgot to press record.
I've done that today on a goal for the radio. I forgot to log in, so I was commentating and didn't realise.
Schoolboy.
And it was
Wilson's
quite a good
goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Well, on that note.
Yeah, right.
Bye.